Backing up and recovering virtual machines is a critical part of any modern data protection strategy. Veeam Backup and Replication can back up virtual machines running on VMware vSphere, Microsoft Hyper-V, Nutanix AHV, or even cloud workloads with our cloud integrated agents. When it comes to restoring data, you'll get access to a variety of recovery models, including instant VM recovery, full VM recovery, file level recovery, or even application level recovery. In this demo, I want to show you how quick and easy it is to get started with backing up your virtual machines. We'll start by covering how to add a source to back up from, followed by reviewing repository options, proxy options, and actually creating the backup job. After that, we'll explore how you can quickly get backup and running in the event of a disaster. So let's get going. To add a source for machines you want to back up, you will need to go to the Inventory tab, then the Virtual Infrastructure, and click on Add Server. Because we're working with virtual machines, we can add either VMware vSphere server or a Microsoft Hyper-V server. We'll select vSphere. So you can enter the DNS name and credentials. Since I already have this set up, let's take a look at the settings there. You'll see that I have DNS name configured for my vCenter server, and I also have credentials assigned to connect to the server. In order to perform a VM backup, we'll need to ensure that we have at least one proxy server configured. When you install Veeam Backup and Replication, a proxy is automatically created on the VBR server itself. Similarly, a backup repository is also created for the VBR server itself. Now, let's create a backup job. If we go back to the home screen here, click on Backup Job, Virtual Machine, we'll create a job here. Because I'll be backing up a database server, let's give this job a descriptive name. I use the term gold to identify the varying importance between jobs. I will also flag this as a high priority job. When it comes to adding VMs, you can add them a few different ways. By selecting them in vCenter, or by the VMs and templates view, which aligns to the folders in vCenter, by data store, or by tags, my personal favorite. Lastly, you can use multiple tags. In this case, I want to select anything tagged as a database server and tagged as gold. You'll see it totals about 180 gigabytes. If need be, you can also add exclusions to the job, whether it be a VM, a disk, or a template. On the next step here, we'll select our object storage repository. We can also configure if we want to keep some versions of the backups longer. For example, you may want to create a full backup every Sunday. Additionally, if you wanted to make a copy of your backups, that could be configured here as well. Because we are backing up a database server, we want to enable application-aware processing. This will allow us to properly truncate the SQL Server logs as part of the backup process. In order to use this, we'll need to have guest OS credentials configured. You can see here that I've already created them, and we'll be using a built-in account. Lastly, let's configure the job to run daily at 10 p.m., but make sure it does not run during office hours. Because this is a new job, I will start it right away. You'll see that we are warned that the job should not be running outside of its schedule, but we can override that. And with that, the job starts and your data is protected. Now, what happens when disaster does strike and seconds really do matter? Performing full restores can be a lengthy process, as data needs to be copied from your backup repository back into production and then re-added to your vCenter. Fortunately, Veeam's instant recovery technology makes this process fast and reliable. Let's use a scenario where a server's been compromised. The VM has been shut down because it needs a forensic audit, but we need to get the database back up and running quickly. Let's see how we could accomplish that. From the home screen, let's click on Restore, followed by VMware vSphere. Here I can choose to either restore from my backups or a replica. I'll choose backups. followed by entire VM restore, instant recovery, and then I want to restore it back into my VMware vSphere environment. I'll add my machine here and search for it based on its name. Note how it appears offline in this window. Here I could choose to restore it to the original location or to a new location, as well as to restore its vCenter's tags. Next, I can redirect write caches if I choose to, but I'll leave that as a default for now. Next, I have the option to scan for malware prior to performing the restore. This is extremely powerful as it allows you to ensure that you're restoring a clean backup and that you will not reinfect yourself. In our scenario, I'll enable this option as I want a clean VM restored. Lastly, you can enter a reason for your restore. Very useful for auditing purposes. It is worth noting that instant recovery can be performed on backups taken by Veeam Agent. That is to say that you can actually restore physical server backups to a VM. As you can see, when seconds count, instant recovery is the tool that you want to have.